Hey guys, we're going to do just the AP class. This is just AP 11. I'm going to do you and AP 12 separate for your weekly agendas and then do all the juniors and seniors outside of your classes together. So there's a little more work for me, but I think it'll be a little smoother, a little quicker. I can dedicate a little more attention to it, okay? So for you guys, what you have up right now is your typical setup, okay? And this is hoping that we don't end up with hurricane issues. I'm assuming there's going to be no school tomorrow, although I don't have any kind of insight on that. But I would assume that's going to be the case. So I'm operating under the case that we're going to. If something happens and we're delayed, we'll move some stuff around. But let's just pretend that everything's normal. All right. I don't have standards this week placed up there. Again, I'm still trying to track those down, but I know you guys don't care about that and you don't want to hear about it every week. So our essential questions this week come down to the following. Here, let me switch over to my a little easier for me to follow if I do this. So we got 5 things. We got what kinds of preparation should be made if one wants to enter into a proper argument intent on defending their points. So, formal argument requires some effort. Okay, you can't just throw yourself in and excuse me, gosh, hope for the best. You want to prepare. You want to know things like audience purpose, all of that we've discussed, but there's more as well. So second thing, why learn about various types of claims instead of just going with a passionate exchange? We've seemed to think that there's more, nobility, I guess that's the wrong word, but in just, I'm so, this matters so much to me and I'm so passionate about it, and you just get up there and talk and think your passion is going to be contagious, and it's not. So we have to learn that, having specific claims, planning them out, knowing how you're going to attack an argument matters, because while you may be passionate about why cheerleading is a sport, other people may not be. So you have to do more than just look like it upsets you and hope they'll agree with you just so you don't cry. Or cuss, depending on the situation, I guess. All right. Third thing, how does our society view mental illness and why are we so averse to discussing it? Now, that's going to come out of one of the stories we read, but I feel like it's an important digression. You'll notice some of these essential questions don't always have to deal with the exact, like the school-based topics. Sometimes it's side topics, but I think they're also worth discussing, as mental illness is a big issue to me that I'm passionate about. Of course, it doesn't mean I can just rant about it, which goes back to essential question 2. 4, says, how can we improve our thesis statement construction to be even more effective? So most of you in this room are decent at thesis statements, especially what we expect in a high school class, but we want to make them even better. Again, decent's not the goal, especially not in an AP class. It should always be excellence. 5, what kinds of mistakes are made often in arguments and why are we so prone to falling for them? And that's going to be the section on logical fallacies. Again, we are very prone to all sorts of just mistakes in logic that even smart people constantly are caught up in. And you look at your important terms and concepts, the last few deal with these types of fallacies that we've discussed briefly at times. We're going to go into a lot more detail now. So, of course, Monday, we're still set on our work day. It's the assignment you had from last week, which I don't have right in front of me, and I'm using the online version of OneNote, which is really hard to navigate through, so I can't drop back. But those of you in class, we'll talk about it. Those of you who aren't, I'm going to have the week 5 update done so that you know exactly which assignment we have. I'll pull out the ones. We dropped a couple, so we'll keep just the ones on the content library document that you're actually responsible for. So I tried to shrink down the amount of reading. Not because I don't think you guys can handle it, but because we weren't covering a lot. And I'm trying to see what we can cover in class. And if I don't get to everything, that's okay. So Tuesday, God willing, we have class. We've got pages 54 through 68. Again, read ahead. All right, I know I'm going to say that over and over and people are still going to ignore me, but read ahead so that way you can be on top of this. Otherwise, you're going to have to read it later when we don't cover all of it. All right, this one's going to be mainly about moving from a close reading to a controlled analysis. So we should have talked last week. We didn't get a chance to, but I'll briefly hit it. And, of course, you should have done the reading about close reading notes, using they offered you to do annotation or graphic organizer. I'm always a fan of annotation. You can do whatever you want. But once we have those notes, how do we transfer those into writing? And that's what we're going to look at mainly on Tuesday. We're going to be looking at a model of a close reading analysis. Now, remember, for Wednesday, and even if we're out Tuesday, hopefully Wednesday we're back. Hopefully everyone does okay. Hopefully that I'm back and my house hadn't floated away. But Wednesday is going to be our day where we move into talking about types of claims and arguments. All right. Also, Wednesday is the day your essays are due. Yes, I know I had said Tuesday several times. A document I sent out at one point, and I can't remember where, had Wednesday. And because that was the latest date that I had published, I went ahead and gave you until then. That doesn't mean wait until Wednesday to write it. All right. Get on top of this. Get it done. Okay, so we're going to talk about argument. We're going to talk about Rogerian arguments particularly. That's a big new term for you we'll discuss. Also types of claim, mainly claims of fact, value, and policy. These are going to be as essential as ethos, pathos, and logos. So you're going to hear us come back to these constantly. You got your first assignment on here. It's going to be when we're using those activities, not because I'm lazy and don't want to come up with my own, but because they're good activities. So it's going to be on page 90. Again, that will be due next Tuesday. And you'll have next Monday to work on it. All right, Thursday is our last lecture day, and this is a big one, all right? You can see there's a lot in here. This is going to be moving from claim to thesis, and we're going to discuss thesis statements a little bit more. And we're also going to discuss logical fallacies that week, or that day. So lots of stuff in there we want to cover. Friday is another assignment that we're going to combine two activities together. And we're going to work on those as a table group. Friday is our group work day. So that's the day we're going to contribute to that, okay? So that's this week. You have one daily grade, which comes in on, I believe that's Wednesday. You have this group work at the end, which right now is going to be still counted as a daily grade. There is a debate in my mind about combining several of these, like Mr. Morgan does with some of his dialogues, where each one's 25 points to a test grade. I'm debating doing that to make these have more value. In fact, that's probably what we're going to do. So I'll know more about that Friday. The other thing is your essay, which is a test grade. So all of those are coming up. We are going to, in the next couple of weeks, look at a terms test. So be paying attention to your terms up here, all right? And be on top of those because the test will be soon. I would say not next week, or this week or next week, but probably the next, so I can get some more terms on it, okay? All right, well, if that is it, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to email me those questions. And hopefully all of you will watch this. There are 14 of you, I believe, in this class, maybe 15. One AP class has 14, one has 15. I expect all of you to have seen this, okay? So thank you for your time. I kept it short and sweet. We're right at 7.5 minutes. I hope you have a great week. I hope you stay safe with this hurricane out there. If we aren't able to be in class for a couple of days, my prayers are with you, and I care about you guys. If there's anything I can do to help you, let me know, all right? Okay, guys, thanks a lot.